Okay, bulking and cutting are definitely something a lot of people like to do when they are building more muscle. And of course, once you are fully bulked, if you will, we'll get into that in a minute. People start to cut to kind of lose some excess fat that might occur. So I say might because this is really dependent upon you. So there's a lot of different strategies to bulk, and we're going to go over a couple of them and the ones I don't recommend. And of course, when it comes time to cut, that is kind of where you're going to trim down a little bit and take a kind of a deload to the body, which is nice too. So if you don't have to bulk, or and then therefore you don't have to cut though either, most likely. So if you had a pretty good body weight but you want to add muscle, you can bulk, but you can do it so slightly that it's just you're not doing a bulking and cutting phases. It's still helpful, of course, but you don't have to do it. But it's just what you would do is just slightly increase your calories in the slightest. I'm talking like under 100 calories for a while, and you would add a few pounds over time of lean body mass. And of course, this is where you might or the experimental piece comes in. So as you're building muscle and you're adding calories, your body has to first absorb it. So if you're eating, let's just say for even number sakes, 2,000 calories a day, you can't go to 4,000 calories a day overnight. You're going to have upset stomach. Your body's not going to absorb it all. You're going to be wasting money on that food because you're just going to poop it on the toilet. Okay. Um, you want to increase slightly. I would start in the 500 calorie range at most. So this is why the bulking part gets confusing for a lot of people because they say you'll see it on memes and then other reels and stuff like that, and then buddies, and they're just hopefully joking, but they're not. And they'll say, "Well, I'm bulking," so you know, I haven't had a French fry in years. However, people will say, "Oh, I'm bulking. I'll get a large fry now. It's okay." No, it's not okay. You still need to keep a pretty standard diet of lean meat, good carbs, and good fats. So you're going to increase those calories for each category, okay? But you're not going to start having a bunch of junk food or like I'm going to have a bag of chips today because I'm bulking. It's okay. And it's not okay because that's where the bulking definitely requires a cut eventually. But now, if you're training for strongman and you need to put on 100 pounds, something like that, fine. Go ahead, add a little bit. But even then, I'd still be more careful because the guys that are doing the best are leaner, big guys than the bigger, rounder guys, if that makes sense. So when you are adding calories to bulking, again, start at 500 calories increase at most. Anything more than that, your body might not absorb it right away. So you're going to slowly increase or decrease that. So first of all, the first thing you got to do is start out with where am I at right now? I'm putting a calculator in the link below for find out where your maintenance calories are, and then you're going to increase from there. I would even start at more like 250, 300 calories more for a little bit, and then increase and decrease as needed. You're going to have to track your calories pretty well too. So some people start bulking to start eating whatever they want. Let's go to the buffet and have a good time. Well, that's not going to be helpful for you're not going to know where you're at. How many grams of fat and how many grams of protein do you have? Well, you don't know because you're just eating as much as you can. Not a good idea. So you want to track what you're doing to see how the progress affects you. Take a couple pictures of your stomach in the mirror. How do you look now? Are you getting kind of pudgy now a little later? Wash those things. Wash your weight. If you start gaining weight real fast, you might have to take it back a little bit, right? Because and now as you increase your weight, you have to increase other things too, like your water intake. I would up your creatine levels too. A lot of people are recommending anywhere from 10 to 30 grams of uh, creatine a serving instead of the normal five, but that's also at your discretion as well. So I'm giving you the starting guide to get started, but there is no magical formula because it depends on how your body is going to react. And there's a lot of things that might happen that um, will happen to one person, not the other, and vice versa. So what you want to do is increase between 200 and 500 calories to start and track where your grams of fat, protein, and carbs are. There are calculators I'm going to put in the description as well that will say, okay, I want to increase my calories, and then you can put fat heavy or protein heavy sort of thing. Now, it depends on your goal. Now, that's another factor. Is your goal just to add weight no matter what, and then you can kind of cut it down later? Fine. Kind of go a little crazy, but not too crazy. You still don't want junk food. You still want good fuel. You're just getting more of it. So I've always mentioned that for every pound of body weight, you want 1 gram of protein. So if you are 185 or 200 pounds, whatever, you are eating about that much protein per day. You want a lot of those calories to go from protein. So if you're trying to gain 10 pounds, well, add 10 to 15 pounds of um, protein per day because now you're trying to go to a higher number. So your current weight plus the weight you're doing, that is how many, put that weight into grams. So if it's 200 pounds and you want to weigh 210, so you eat 210 grams of protein per day now. Okay. And make sure you have a significant amount of fat and carbs to go up with that for various reasons. First, you need more power now because you're moving your body more with more weight. That is why most people will also bulk as well. They want to increase their strength. Um, can you increase strength without ever bulking? Yes. Does it take longer? Yes. So people bulk. That's another reason people bulk is they want to add strength now. So you start bulking. Well, your strength's going to start going up, but you also do need to do a couple things. One, you want to start increasing your weight a little more in the gym as well, because then your body will have a signal to say, we're putting on muscle mass. Don't just hold us into fat storage, please. Cool. That's done. But that doesn't mean you can, you still have a similar training style to what you're doing now for whatever your goals might be. So do some heavier lifts like the 5x5 sets. That's a great starting point and a really good muscle building point as well. Is so 5 sets of five. That's where you're going to build some hard strength by doing lower reps and increasing the weight, especially for your compound lifts, like your deadlifts and squats, and bench if you do it. So as you're doing these things, increase the weight. Do have some deload weeks. I've had videos about that before. Maybe I'll do another one. But basically, what a deload would be is you're going to increase that weight. You're going to do some 5x5 sets, maybe some 3x3s, and maybe some 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 sets in different weeks. But after those heavier sets, taper it back a little bit, and then for 1 or 2 weeks, do a 4 sets of 10. So you're still maintaining muscle, and you're still working out, but you are deloading that heavier weight for your nervous system to heal and react. So after that deload week, you're going to go back to the heavier sets. Now, during that whole time, you're still bulking, so you're watching those calories, track them, making sure you're not adding um, too much, of course. Um, when you're bulking doesn't mean the cardio is done. You still want some cardio because you still want for heart health. One, two, so you're not just putting on just massive weight and not you still need cardio overall. Okay, don't rush it though. We're gonna say that again over in the cutting side of this conversation, but don't rush adding too many calories. You're gonna backfire and start getting kind of fat and pudgy. Okay, that's all there is to it. Now, a lot of people say, well, how long should the bulk be? Should it be a month or two, or 3 or 4 months, or a year? Again, depends on you. It really depends on where you want to be in your goals. So some people go up for a few weeks, a few months, and then cut it down for 2 months, and then go back and forth. Some people do a full year of bulking and then 6 months of cutting. All of them work. It really depends on your goals and how much your body can do. Then you have to factor in people like myself who work a full-time job and still want to get good progress in the gym. So you can't rely on 3-hour sessions at the gym. So it has to be more moderate than too crazy. Okay. Um, Also, another factor I want to add is make sure you're taking some amino acids as well. As you increase your muscle, you want to make sure you are getting the right nutrients to build that muscle. Okay. Um, let's talk about cutting then. So you bulked for a year, you added 20 pounds, cool. And you're thicker now. Maybe a little in the gut too. You're a little thicker. Might have a slight little pudge going on, and you're like, well, my strength's gone up. I'm doing great there. but now I need to cut back a little bit so I can get rid of this pudge and kind of look a little bit better for beach season, okay? So, first of all, if you're training for a sort of strength competition, I wouldn't cut now because you're gonna need that mass to move mass. Okay, so start cutting though if you are ready. If it's more for aesthetics or just to trim down and lose some fat in general. Okay, so same calorie deficit you want to be instead of surplus as the bulking. The bulking I said what 200 to 500 calories. You want to do the same thing for um, cutting. You want to be in a 200 to 500 calorie deficit, and that's going to come from good tracking. So I told you to track before for your bulking piece. Now I have to track going for cutting. This is where it might not be as easy as you think for cutting, or actually bulking is usually perceived as easy. It's not as easy as most people think, at least to do it well. Like I said, stay away from junk food. People will always do junk food. Cutting um, can kind of be hard though because you are eating less. You just get a whole year of eating more. So you have to kind of get used to that hunger strike for a little while there. You want to make sure that water's going well, and then you're also hydrating properly with good minerals. I go to my affiliate link in the description for some Jocko Hydrate because that stuff is really good and to keep you hydrated. So I would also keep in mind um, you you want to make sure you're getting your cardio in, but you're also still eating good protein. So if you are, I made the example earlier when I got to 210 pounds, let's say you're trying to cut to 205. So now you want to have 205 grams of protein. So make sure that protein is still coming in. You still want to have carbs though, too. You still need the fat because without those things, you're not going to operate properly at all. And without fat, your body can't absorb vitamins either. So make sure you are cutting properly and slowly. Don't rush it because if you rush it, you're going to have more effects to the body that you don't want to have. Now, one thing that kind of sucks is you just in the whole year of bulking, you added 100 pounds to your bench press. Cool. You're going to lose a little bit. Just be prepared for that. It will come back over time, but just be prepared that like, oh man, that one set of 225 for 10 reps now feels really heavy. I can only get six. That's going to happen. That's totally going to happen. So make sure you are watching how that goes and um, just suck it up really because it's going to happen when you're going to lose some strength. Okay. Um, if you are trying to cut for a competition though, that you need to be under a certain body weight, I would do this months and months and months prior to the competition. There's a lot of weightlifting competitions that have uh, weight cutoffs in different categories. Well, if your category is X and you cut a month before, well, that's probably pretty terrible because now you're not going to be as strong, and you need to be used to that lower body weight. So I would do the cut prior, and then ride the line, a little bit, and then track your calories and try to aim for like 2 pounds under that body limit so you don't accidentally hit over, and now you're in a new weight category that you're not that you didn't want to be in. So few things I would do to cut some more calories. Obviously, you're decreasing calories in general, right? But also add a little more cardio. That will cut a few more calories off as you're going, but also increasing your NEAT. That's just what that means is there's a scientific name to NEAT, but all it really means is you're moving around more. So do a little extra housework, get extra steps in. If you're averaging 8 to 10,000, get to 10 to 12,000. But you want to make sure you're moving a little more because that's going to help you burn a few more calories here and there, um, without eating a lot less calories, which is also detrimental to your system as well. So you don't want to just say, all right, I was eating 3,500 calories for the last year. Now I want to go to 2,500 calories. You're going to feel terrible. So I said 2 to 500 calorie cut, not 1,000 calories, and you can still kind of maintain what you're doing. Um, if you start losing energy in the gym, maybe you're going too hard. So taper it back a little bit. But also you want to continue to strength train. So this is where I would also increase more to like the 6 to 8 range of reps for your sets. That way you're still getting strength in, but you're also increasing muscular endurance as well. That's the time frame I would usually do that. It always works for me when back and forth for those things, but basically, I want to make sure you guys are just not rushing it either in the surplus or the deficit, whatever you're trying to do. And again, there's no time frame that's right. If you bulk for a month and then cut for a month and bulk for a month, that's fine too. It's better obviously for a few months and then cut for a couple months and back and forth, depending on your goals. So that said, that is all there is today for that. Without going over, being the dead horse here. But if you have any questions, throw them in the comments. I'm always happy to answer those things. Look at the calculators, put in your weight, see where you want to do for a cut or bulk, and follow those guidelines because those will be a little more precise to your body. That's why I'm not giving any solid numbers here to work on because those could be very different for every single person. So also, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I do appreciate that. It does help me for the channel and liking the video. But also, one thing that really does help the videos as well, or my channel, is my affiliate link, Jocko Fuel. They have amazing protein, amazing supplements for all types. There's also now a pro series of supplements that I have not tried yet, but I've heard is delicious, which is great. Everything else tastes great so far. However, I will say the pro series has more protein per serving, so hopefully that helps your bulking size as well. Well, again, thanks for watching. See ya.